Hey, what's up, David here with After Video Effects, and welcome back to another video tutorial. Today, we're going to be making this plane scene that was used with Element 3D and Trapcode Lux. And I also want to give a big thank you to everyone who has been subscribed to my channel. I recently hit 100 subscribers, so that means you guys will get the Pokemon download that I mentioned in my first video. So the link will be in the description below. So today we're going to be making this plane scene. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Alright, so you can see we got some rain, we got a lighthouse, and we got some clouds in the background. So yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna make a new comp, and we'll make it 1920 by 1080, and we'll call this I don't know, plane scene, and we'll make it 5 seconds long and hit OK. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to grab my background image and drop it into this comp, and it's looking pretty good. I just want to get rid of this edge here, so I'm just going to scale it up, move it across here somewhere like that. Looks pretty good. And I want to draw a mask and get rid of the sky. So come over here, we can just draw a mask here. Doesn't have to be perfect, just try to be as detailed as possible. So I'm just going to do this quickly. Okay, so once you've made your mask, you can just hit F, feather out maybe about 2 pixels. Cool. So once that's done, we can add in some background images. So I've got this dark clouds background footage that I'm just gonna drop it in here, and I want to scale it up and move it across here. Just come over here like that, and I want to duplicate it, so Control D and move it across here. Now I want to add a mask to both of these so that they will both blend in nicely. So I'm just gonna add a mask to this one, and hit subtract it and feather it out, maybe about 10 pixels. And I want to add another mask to this one, so just come in here, just draw a mask for this. So just come in here and hit again, subtract it and feather it out. Okay, now it's looking a little weird, so I want to like maybe just time it, blend, and just to match with our background on top here. So maybe we could drop this one underneath here and just like push this down and scale it up, and something like that. Maybe we could scale this one up and feather this one out quite a lot. That way it blends nicely with this, and maybe we could feather this one out as well, so that it also blends nicely. I don't want to blend it too much because I don't want to reveal this harsh edge here, so just blend it out And maybe we could even fix our mask for this one. So push it across here. And just try to line up with our footage. And maybe we could scale this one up. Something like that. So it looks like it's connected. And that's it. And we want to pre-compose these two. So pre-compose, move all attributes and call it background. And there we go. Now I want to add a lighthouse to this top one. So what I did was I got a normal image, and so this is a normal background image for the lighthouse. I added a mask to the lighthouse, so it looks like that with the mask on. And to get rid of some of the blue on this side, if you can see, I added some color key effects and just to get rid of majority of the blue. Let's drop that lighthouse into our comp, and we want to just position it maybe on top here, and we're going to scale it up. Lighthouses are pretty big, aren't they? Well, I assume they are, because if they're not, then how would they help the boats? Yeah, that would be a problem. Okay, so we're going to make a new adjustment layer, and we're going to add the tint and curves adjustment. We're going to bring it about to 50%. Looks like that. And we're going to crush all the white, so it looks like it's all dark. And maybe bring down some of that contrast here. And maybe for our water, we can add another tint effect, because this is looking a little too saturated. So maybe about there. Maybe put it to 50% as well. So something like that. And maybe go to red channel, take away some red, and go to blue channel and bump that up. Okay, looks like a night sky. Okay, so we're gonna label this CC. Okay, and we're gonna make a new solid. Hit OK, and we're gonna get simulation CC particle world. And what it does, it makes these really cool particles. So what we need to do is turn off our grid and open up the producer, physics and particle tabs. Okay, so let's start off by spreading out these particles like this and like that. And maybe we'll turn the velocity down so that it looks like it's just vertically coming down. And we'll turn up the gravity to make these particles run down fast. And maybe we can just like give it a little bit of rotation. And then scale it up, because we want these particles to look like it's coming on from an angle. And just spread it out even more, like that. And we'll make the color like a bluish color that will match our background. So if we just try to match the color, maybe make it a bit brighter. And it's looking a little too saturated. Maybe that there, and bring that down like here. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Yes, and then we can add like a little bit of a blur on this. So we can come in here, blur, box blur, turn on repeat edge pixels and turn it up maybe about 2 pixels. That way it's just faded. And hit T, and maybe we could bring the opacity down a bit. And yeah, that looks pretty cool. So let's go ahead and make our light source. So we're gonna make a new solid. So I'm just gonna name this rain first, and we'll make another new solid and call it light. And we'll add the trap code lux effect, and we'll make a new light, and we'll make it a spotlight, and hit OK. And come in here, we wanted to use the spotlights and turn off point lights. Okay, so if we try to get this going, we can see here we're getting something. So let's add it to the light and come about there. Let's bring up the intensity for our light and our actual light. Bring it up quite high. So if we hit R and hit the stopwatch for the Y rotation and scrub through, we can make it do maybe 2 rotations. I can see it's done. And if we look at this, it will rotate around like it was an actual lighthouse. So now let's go ahead and get our plane into this scene. So let's make one more solid. We'll make it white, maybe white this time, and we'll call it E3D. And let's open up Video Copilot element and go into scene setup. Okay, so here we are in element. I'm gonna use my jet strike, and I think I'm gonna use, maybe I'll use this transporter. Oh, that looks cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and just adjust our environment. So we want to try and match with our background. So it's pretty dark and a little bit of blue. So maybe something, one of these backgrounds or something. Maybe this one. Yeah, that looks cool. And once that's done, hit OK. Okay, so here's our plane. Let's go ahead and make new camera. 80mm, hit OK. And let's make a group null object. This will help us control the position. Let's call it position, movement, and let's just bring this in here. Let's go ahead and add some lights to this. So I want to add a new parallel light. Let's bring the intensity up, and let's bring it further away, so it looks like it's on this side, and maybe move it up and hit Control D and maybe move it down, and maybe bring the intensity down just a touch, maybe about there. So it looks like it's a little lit. So let's just rotate this. Let's just make this 0, so it's facing at the back. and just move this across and push it way back in Z space. So it's coming from this side. Okay, and I want to get my color correction effects. Hit Control C and paste it on our Element 3D layer so that it matches with our background. And we can even just like adjust some of this red channel, and maybe we could darken it a bit. And hit P over there, go across and push it all the way forward. I'm holding shift to make it like go faster for the values. I don't know what the word for that is. And I'm just gonna push it up here. And push it forward more. And somewhere about there. And I want to add some rotation, make it look like it's wobbling. So hit the stopwatch for Z, maybe move forward, maybe there, maybe tilt it a little bit. Not that way. This way. Maybe about 5 degrees. You just want it subtle. Move forward again. Maybe wobble it this way. And make it back to -2 maybe. So I want to decently spread out these keyframes and hit F9 for all of them. Okay, so let's check out a preview. Okay, so let's check it out. Nice. Okay, so for my rain, we already start on the comp, so I'm just gonna slide this over and just extend that out. So because I want the rain to already start on the screen, and I couldn't come up with a solution. It looks like for our light, it looks like it's just like rotating halfway and then just coming back around. Yeah, I couldn't figure out. If you guys have a solution, let me know, because I could always use some help sometimes. Yeah, and we can add some motion blur. Hit Control A, hit the motion blur for this. And if you want, for extra detail, we can go into the render settings for our Element 3D layer. We can turn on shadows. We can turn on ambient occlusion. Maybe we can make it ray trace. So I'm just gonna put this to preview, and we could do ray trace. Cool. Maybe we could lower the intensity, maybe about 0.7. Maybe we could adjust like the specular a little bit, and maybe the reflectivity and all that stuff. Okay, so let's actually adjust this position. Let's push it way further back, so it looks like it's weird coming from a subjective view. Okay, so it's nice to always like color code your comp. Okay, so that's it, everyone. I don't think there's anything else I can add to this, but thank you, everyone. My name's David. I hope you learned interesting techniques that you can use for your own creations. Please give a like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more, comment down below if you have any questions. And as always, download the pack, you guys deserve it. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. and I'll see you in the next video.